Hello and welcome to this lecture on variables and data types in Python. Let's get started. Now, first of all, what is a variable? Now, a Python variable is a reserved memory location to store values. Now, variables can be declared by any name or even alphabets, and they are case sensitive. Now, before going to getting started with variables, we should know some rules that are associated with the variables. Rule number one says, now variable name must start with letter or the underscore character. Number two says, a variable name cannot start with a number. You can't start a variable name with a number. So the last one, a variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters. Now what are alphanumeric characters? The characters that are ranging from A to Z and 0 to 9 and the underscore character itself. Now, what are data types? Now, data types are used to classify one particular type of data. Now, this is important because the specific data you use will determine what values you can assign to it and what you can do to it. Now, there are different types of data types: numeric, Boolean, sequence type, set, and dictionary. Let's get started with numeric type. So numeric data type are further classified into three types: integer, float, and complex numbers. Now integer are the numbers which have a positive and negative whole numbers without any fractional part. Now float is a number in which fractional numbers are denoted by decimal symbol. For example, 2.36 or 6.36 and so on. The complex number is a number with a real and imaginary component denoted by x plus yj, where j is the imaginary component which have a value of -1 and x and y are floats. Now let's have a look at the Boolean data type. Now Boolean data type is a data with one of the two built-in values that are true or false. Now, important points should be noted over here. Before getting into a Boolean type or before going to define a Boolean value, we should be aware that the true or false have a uppercase T and F. Now, if you are using T and F as a lowercase letters, now they are not valid Booleans, or else Python will throw an error. Now sequence type are further classified into three types: string, lists, and tuples. Now what is a string? A string value is a collection of one or more characters put in a single, double, or triple quotes. Now for example, I have given within single quotes I have written hello world. Now you can also use double quotes. Triple quotes are usually used for representing docstrings in Python. Now what are lists and tuples? Now list object is an ordered collection of one or more data items put in square brackets, but tuples are object of ordered collections of one or more data items put in parentheses. So the main difference between list and tuples are lists are put in square brackets and tuples are put in parentheses. Now what is a Python set? Now a set is a collection of data types in Python, same as list and tuples, but it's not an ordered collection of objects. Now objects in a set are not necessarily of the same type. Now what do you mean by the same type? Like same type in the sense I have defined an example over here. S1 equals a set of all integers. Even I could define a set of all floats, a set of all complex numbers, but in set you can also define a set containing three data types. I mean, in a set there will be integer, there will be floats, there will be complex number. So it's not necessarily that we should have the same data type in a set. Now the data type is dictionary. Now dictionary is something, a collection type. In other words, it contains a key value pairs, but dictionary is not an ordered sequence of objects. Now, a key value pairs in the sense means have like capitals equals France with a colon and then Paris. Now, this means France is the key and Paris is the value of France. Like the capital of France is Paris. And the value of A is 56. Now, where A is the key and 56 is the value of the key. Okay, now this was a lecture on variables and data types in Python. So in my next video, I will be showing you some codings for about variables and data types in Python. Thank you all.